World's largest diamond. Definitely not his hand, I wouldn't think. Yeah, I mean, I think I've heard every kind of criticism of Richard possible, and a lot of it just doesn't matter. Does he always say the right thing? No. Is he humble when he wants to be? Usually not, but it's a purpose. If you don't understand something about Richard, if you believe that he's rich, genius founder, then maybe there's something you're missing, right? Maybe it's a deficiency in how you see him, or you don't know his plan. He has a plan. I mean, even with the sacrifice stuff, I was talking to DCC about this the other day. Yeah, maybe the roadmap changed when, maybe they didn't think Ethereum was going to come so soon. The Ethereum POS was going to launch this year, and that could have been a pivot, just based on the information that it looks like from the outside. So does he make mistakes? Sure. But overall, it's kind of one of those things you need to see him for what he is and what he does. And if you don't like some of the things he says or stands for, I would just challenge you to think about all the good things he does outside of that. So if you don't like the way that he dresses and buys luxury stuff or whatever it is, I would say, but think about all the people he's helped with the SINS Foundation charity. Think about his mission of longevity research and saving people. I believe there'll be a heart foundation one day that'll literally save people's lives. After crypto, he'll actually be saving people's lives by helping them live longer, healthier. Think about this self-help book, Scivive, and Fix the World. I could make a list of all the things that I disagree with Richard about, and I have videos on this too. Search RHMax, Richard Hart disagree, or Richard Hart wrong, or Richard Hart, I forget, different ones. Search Richard Hart and you'll see a bunch of them. And I probably got 1 or 2 more videos coming out, but I talk about things that I don't agree with him on. But even for me, I just think it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you agree with them on everything. You don't need to agree with somebody on everything in order to get and benefit from things they do and say and people they're helping, and to see the impact they're making in the world. So, of course, there's a line, if he turns out and just starts murdering a bunch of people and, becomes like this really, there's some things that are, hey, okay, now this is I've been following for 6 years, but there's some lines I'm like, all right, man. Again, imaginary horribles, he's not going to cross those lines. Why would he do that? Somebody who's in it for glory, he wants to go down as one of the people who made the biggest impact in the world in a bunch of different verticals. I think he'll go down as one of the best crypto founders, and one creating more wealth for people in crypto than, on par with Vitalik and Satoshi. I think he will go down in that conversation, as long as we keep succeeding. And that's why he wants the community to be so involved. He knows that you see a lot of these other crypto communities, everyone disappears. Bear market, oh, everything's dead. NFT guys, gone. Valuations dropped. Hex valuation dropped, and you still see a lot of people. You see people streaming every day talking about Hex, talking about crypto. So he knows that's a big part of it that helps propel and keep us in the conversation for the best crypto, best DeFi in the world. And all feeds part of his mission. One of the best crypto founders. He wants to save people with medical research, with longevity research, anti-aging, rejuvenation techniques, perhaps with the Heart Foundation one day. And he just wants to win. And if you think about it, it's such a selfish goal. It really is selfish, but selfish in a good way, because what is the worst thing that can happen if he doesn't achieve everything he wants to do? Less people living longer, less people rich. Like, everything he's doing is good. There's plenty of nice, humble people out there in the world. I don't think he's turning people into a-holes or anything. I don't think that's the impact he's having. You could argue back and forth whether Andrew Tate is having a good or bad example on kids, and I'm sure there's a lot of things you don't want, young people to pick up from him, but there's also a lot of things, a lot of good lessons I'm sure that's came from it too, and helping people keep in the frame of mind of how to be a strong person, whether it be male or female. So what happens if Richard doesn't win? I think that's a lot worse than if he does win. I think if he wins, we live longer, we're richer, no pun intended, and we have a lot of better ideas and good stuff to go do and put out in the world. What's the downside? Oh, PulseChain's taking too long. Zoom out. Not just on the chart, zoom out to him. Zoom out to the man who's doing this stuff. He doesn't care about launching PulseChain on your timeline. He doesn't care about launching PulseChain within a year, apparently. He doesn't care about, it could take 2 years, it could take 3 years. Like that, zoom out. It all goes back to delayed gratification. It goes back to waiting to win. And it goes back to understanding, what he's doing this for. And, does it feel good? No, but losing weight doesn't feel good. Running running 10 miles doesn't feel good. Holding your tongue and not attacking people on Twitter may not feel good. But it depends on your time frame. You want to feel good now, or do you want to feel good for years and years? Do you want to try and retire now, or do you want to set up your finances, set up your resources where you're going to be paying yourself for the rest of your life? That's my take on understanding Richard. And what's up, Johnny Chaos? You came at a great time. I was just in my explaining Richard mode. I don't get that very often. Like I said, I wanted to have this stream because I don't feel like I do a lot of RHMaxi stuff. That's my name. I pigeonhole myself into the ecosystem with that name. Oh, look at the shiny object. No, you're RHmaximalist. Stay in this ecosystem. It doesn't mean I have to only like Hex and PulseChain and PulseX. I like Hedron. I like Maximus. I like stuff within the ecosystem, but I try to focus on products that either make Hex better or solve a problem that empower the ecosystem that Richard has provided. So I think that's fine. And again, his ideals come into his products, but it's not just about Hex. Literally, if Hex never existed, if Richard would never created Hex 3 years ago, never launched PulseChain, never watched any coin, I would still be watching him today. I'd still be listening to him, doing whatever he'd be doing, debating. I don't know what he'd be doing. He may still be a Bitcoin Maxi debating Ethereum Maxis or something. I would still be learning a lot from him. So I'm just grateful that he created something to create all this wealth for me and everyone else. Everyone says things are on ways beyond words or actions, genuinely helping people through stances. Yeah, again, I would challenge everyone to stop asking when PulseChain and start looking and understanding, hey, Richard is the anti-rug puller. There ain't enough money to take out anyways, and he don't need it. He's in it to win. And there's never been a better definition of trickle-down winning than the RH ecosystem. It's true. That's true. Accumulation seems to be, historically speaking, a very good thing to do in bear markets. That's the thing. I'll go back to what I said, half hour ago. Why isn't everyone rich? Why did they get rich from Hex the last market cycle? I don't know. Apparently, whatever they did or didn't do will be corrected this market cycle, because now they have, a couple more years of content to consume and figure out what the right thing to do is. $777. Nice lucky numbers. Changed my life continually. Yeah, he really has. Richard's developing projects right now. Yeah, I mean, every time you look at him, he's tired, right? And it's not just about all the hot girls he hangs out with. I'm sure that's part of it. Honestly, I think that's just like an outlet for, he wants to give himself something good to do. And, you know, maybe he likes to eat and or not diet as much. So, you know, you see that show up as well. So you can see that he's not, I don't know. I guess I would say that if Richard was ripped, and if Richard looked like Alex Hormozy and PulseChain was delayed for 3 years, it would be harder to explain. But you can see that he's putting all his time, effort, blood, sweat, tears, energy into making this thing work. And launch when it's ready. Well, everyone, thanks for joining me on this Sunday. Great conversation. Lots of great questions, too. I really appreciate you all showing up. Again, this was not Richard on the channel, me interviewing him. Hopefully someday that'll happen. That'd be cool. It was just me talking about Richard, answering questions about him, Hex, and just explaining why I believe what I believe about him. And I'm not just some cult follower, cheerleader person, blind, unconditional love type of, found this guy, obsessed with him. That's not, you know, if you know me, you watch the streams, you know I'm very much a person who thinks from first principles. I think for myself, and I'm just a fan, and I want this thing to succeed, and I'm going to do my best to help the ecosystem and Richard get through all the FUD and just win. I want to win. I want to win with them. I want to win with you all. So that's why I'm here. I'm not here to make money. I should at this point be famous for not wanting to sell you anything on this channel. I don't monetize. I'm just here to give back and to do my part in the community. And that's what I like to do.